Councilman Merolla.
Thank you. Bill and Ernie, I'm again looking at the Gabriel, Roeder, and Smith actuarial valuation from 2014. And it talks about the various pension plans.
Yes.
On page 7, it talks about the unfunded actuarial accrued liability, and it says 6.8 million for Fire 2. It says Police 2, 34.5 million, and it says on Fire 1 and Police 1, 247 million unfunded accrued liability, and unfunded accrued liability for municipal employees, 40 million. And so added up, the unfunded actuarial accrued liability for the 4 pension plans came to 327 million. Did I read those numbers wrong?
Unfunded liability for Police 1, Fire 1 plan, $36 million.
This is Police 1 and Firefighters 1?
Yeah, that would be, what I have is about 211 million. For the unfunded liability for the Police 2 is about 20.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you, Ernie, and I'm trying to write them down.
Basically, the unfunded liability, that's, would be, the number that I have is 277.5 million.
And that's for Police 1 and Fire 1?
No, that's the total.
That's the total?
Yes, I have the city pension valuation.
All right, I'm asking, I'm looking at the actual reports you folks gave to me.
Right.
Okay? And so, for example, I'm looking on page 6 of the report.
Which report?
This is City Pension, Firefighters, Police 1 Pension, Actuarial Evaluation as of July 1, 2014. Is that the one you have?
Yes.
Okay. It says July 1, 2013, $264,365,451. I'm on page 6.
Yes, but then you have to take into consideration the value of the assets. When you take into consideration the value of the assets, the unfunded liability is the 200 and 11 million.
For that pension plan?
Yes, you have your.
Right, and so how did you arrive at that number? What would you subtract from 264 million? Because it says actuarial accrued liability,
Right.
and what did you subtract out?
So you have the total was 277. If you subtract the valuation assets, that gives you the unfunded actuarial liability of 211, which is a funded ratio of about 23.94%.
Okay, and now I'm looking at, so hold on one second. 211, and now I'm looking at Police 2, and that's on page 6 also. And it says unfunded actuarial accrued liability 23 million. Is that right? Yes. Okay. So, and now I'm looking at municipal, page, it looks like on this page, it's page 2, and it says unfunded actuarial accrued liability, $39,659,007.
That's correct, 40 million.
And so that's 39 million. And now I'm looking at the fire 2, and it says, this is page 7 on fire 2, and it says unfunded actuarial accrued liability, $3,865,034.
Correct. 4 million. We run.
4 million. Okay. So you're saying that 211, 23, 39, and 4 is 7, 1, 6.
252 million?
I had 267. 211, 23, 39, and 4. I came up with 267 million of unfunded.
What was your number, Councilman?
I had 211, 23.
Yeah, 278? Or
278?
I rounded up.
278. Okay. 278 million unfunded liability. The reason I went through that exercise is because we always have arguments as to what it is, and I'm just going by the actuarial reports. I realize they're a year old, and I realize that it went up. But I just figured we'd be on the same page. And as you told us before, for healthcare, it's 282 million, which would give us $560 million of unfunded liability. And I was also looking at the total obligations. That means funded and unfunded, okay? And the reason that I say funded and unfunded, because everybody thinks, okay, well, hopefully our assets are gonna increase by a certain percentage every year, and of course we always have an argument as to what a reasonable amount of increase is, depending on what the market's doing and depending on where we have our money. And when I added those numbers up, I had fire 2 total obligations 41 million. Police 2 total obligations 182 million. Fire 1 total obligations 309 million. And that's fire 1, police 1, I'm sorry. And municipal total obligations 131 million. So our total obligations for pensions are 663 million. And our total obligations under healthcare, which again is on the 3rd page of the valuation report, is $369,804,081 for total obligation, both funded and unfunded, of $1,032 million. That sound about right? That's what we're looking at. And hopefully our assets continue to appreciate, although, as I pointed out to you folks before, our overall position went down 12 million. Our pensions are down 5.5 million in total, and our unfunded healthcare is in the whole 17 million for a $23 million change. Some of our assets went up, so we're only in the whole $12 million this year. By the way, Bill, how much extra are we looking for in revenue in this year's budget compared to last year's budget? When I say revenue, the overall budget proposal, I think, was around 280 million or so last year. What is it this year?
We'll check, Councilman.
Yeah, the total revenue from all sources from FY 15 to 16 would be about $4.8 million, a little more than 4.8 million.
So we went from 280 something to what? 280?
The projected budget as submitted, 294 million.
294 million, and what was it the year before, last year?
289.2.
Okay, so you're saying that's a little over a $4 million?
A little over 4.8 million.
4.8 million we went up in 1 year. And we lost $12 million. So it would take us 3 years to make up what we lost this year if we had the same tax increase of 3%, without funding anything else. I hope everybody up there's got an extra pension plan. You're putting money aside. And Bill, I respect you as an individual and for telling the truth, and I know you shoot from the hip. And the same for Peter. And I know you guys did your best when you were talking to people. But I don't like it. And by the way, these numbers were not done on a kitchen table, and I don't have an actuarial degree. Okay? I'm just reading from our own reports. $1 billion. That's what our obligations are. Over $1 billion. Unfunded. As the gentleman just testified today, 500, oh, they want to shut off my mic. $560 million unfunded. Not from my mouth, from theirs. And we're going to vote on increases in pay for the next 3 years on Monday night. And I hope the ostrich can dig a hole big enough in the sand to stick their head in. Because I'm not lying to the employees. I'm not lying to the taxpayers. This is unbelievable. Unbelievable. And we're watching our city that I love, that I grew up here from 1967, go down the tubes. And we're going to say people are doing stuff on kitchen tables. Really? These are all our numbers. We just add them up. Thank you.